The fastest way to improve in swimming is obviously we think we can work on our pull. This is incorrect. So the easiest way to fix this is simply body position. This is the fundamental way that we move through the water. There are two ways that we can swim faster. The first is by decreasing drag. The second is by increasing propulsion. To illustrate this point, we're gonna draw a swimmer right there. That's the head position. And then we have our body. Now this is a good body position. You can see the swimmer is right at the surface of the water. A bad body position would be the head is above the surface, and then the rest of the body is going to be like this. Now this right here is called displacement. This is all drag right here. So Coach Leo, how do we improve our body position so that our legs aren't dragging so deep in the water?
So there are two ways in which we can actually improve our body position, one of which is actually our head. Our head acts like a steering wheel when we swim. So it's very, very important that your head, first of all, is in the correct position. So if your head is too high up or too far down, this will move your legs up and down depending on where your head is. So the most important thing is making sure your head is in the correct position, and this will help you flatten out your body position in the water. And the second thing is having a very strong and continuous kick. If your legs are not doing much, if your legs are kind of just dragging behind you, this can also cause your hips and legs to sink. So it's very important that first of all, our head's in the right space and making sure our kick is also being used.
Yep, and also you want to make sure when it comes to your head position, your eyes are what dictate that. So the easiest way to fix this is simply looking down. A big mistake a lot of swimmers make is they're looking about 10, 20 meters in front, or worse, you're looking at the wall on the other end of the pool. Guys, I have some good news for you. The wall isn't going anywhere, so you don't need to look for it. Keep your eyes down. What that's going to do, it's going to lift your legs so they're higher in the water, and as a result, your overall body position is going to be improved because you're taking up less space in the water. So if you see this part right here, this is a massive displacement. When we look down and we bring our legs up, this is going to be a lot smaller. And remember what I said in the very beginning, there are only two ways to swim faster. And the first and most important is decreasing drag. Coach Leo, how can we improve our body position further once we've already fixed our head position?
So once you've got your head in the right position, your legs are kicking, one of the most important things is also your core engagement. What you do not want to be doing is spaghetti noodling around the pool. It is very, very important that when we swim, our core stays nice and tight. And what you don't want to do is swim with your core just, you don't want to be tense when you swim. You want to be thinking of your body, and you want to try and keep it as long as you can. You almost want to imagine that you're being pulled in both directions when you are swimming. So imagine there is somebody pulling your legs one way and then somebody pulling your arms the other way. You want to try and extend your body as long as you can possibly make it on a water surface, and that will also help you elevate your body position when you swim.
So what are some drills that swimmers can do to make sure they're maintaining this body position? Obviously, we want to keep our eyes looking down. What do you do with your arms if you're just doing a drill?
So one of the simplest things to do, I mean, there's different variations of this, but you can do something called number 11, which I'm sure you've heard Faris say before. So just extending your arms out in front of you in your shoulder width position. There we go, as Faris has beautifully demonstrated. So just having your arms out in front of you and just focusing on keeping your body as flat as you can possibly make it on the water surface. You can also do this with your arms by your side. You can do something called a Superman position, where you can have your arm out in front of you and one arm by your side. But different variations are the same thing, but the most important thing is keeping your body as flat as you can make it on the water surface. Things such as fins are also a great idea if you want to put your fins on. That will also help you elevate your body position, but at the same time, you don't want to become too reliant on these things.
You want to imagine your body is moving through a very narrow cylinder. If you remember, I kept on drawing this right here. This is your displacement. The fastest swimmers in the world are moving through a very small space. And so the smaller you can make your body, the faster you go. So when you're in the number 11 and your arms are extended, obviously you're keeping your eyes down, the rest of your body is going to follow. And like Coach Leo was saying, it's as if you have people pulling you on either direction. So you want to imagine that even your kick is small and narrow. A big mistake a lot of swimmers make is they have too big of a kick and their legs will come out of the water. You don't want your feet really coming out of the water that much. You want to keep a very small, short, fast, compact kick, which will fit through this cylinder that we've just drawn. So you can imagine your hands, your fingertips are what lead everything. The rest of your body follows through that cylinder, and then your legs also have to be compact and narrow, or else you're not going to be able to fit through the cylinder. You might think that, well, if I have a bigger kick, I'm going to get more propulsion. This is incorrect. that's only true to a certain point. As soon as you get larger than the width of your body's natural displacement of the water, you're going to create more drag than you're going to have in additional propulsion. So you want to make sure that your kick is small, narrow, pointing your toes, keeping your legs relatively straight, and making sure that you don't have your kick come outside of this cylinder range that your body naturally has. And that's one of the keys to not only having a good body position, but also having a good kick as well. Now that we've had a perfect body position, eyes are looking down, feet are compact, we've been able to decrease our drag. Now we want to increase our propulsion. What's one way we can do that without even taking a stroke? How do we move through the water in this streamlined position more effectively while maintaining a decrease in drag?
Kick.
Exactly. So what should a fast kick look like? How do we make a fast kick so that way we have an engine that really feeds our swimming?
I think the most important thing about kick is making sure your legs stay relaxed. I think a lot of people try and put too much emphasis on how hard you're actually kicking, I think, which is one of the biggest mistakes. When you kick, it is so important to try and keep your legs as relaxed as possible and focus on frequency rather than the actual power and the strength of your kicks. So first of all, keeping your legs relaxed and your ankles relaxed, most importantly, is a very, very big, important thing. And second, in my opinion, is just making sure your kick is coming from your hips. One of the most common mistakes I see and I come across is swimmers trying to bend their knees and trying to kick from their knees, which is just simply not going to work. So number one, keep your legs nice and relaxed. And number two, try and make sure your kick always comes from your hips. So now that we have a perfect body position, our legs are kicking, our head's in a perfect position, what is the next step?
Obviously, we think we can work on our pull, but that's not exactly true. Before we can work on our pull, we have to understand how we're structuring our workouts so that way we get the most out of our time in the water. If you want to watch that video, make sure you check it out right over here. I'll see you over there, and happy swimming.